But one that should be quite exciting, because today I'm going to be seeing for the first time since it's actually my car, the Aston Martin GT8. This morning I've been off dealing with all of the stuff at the banks, getting it paid in full so the invoice is settled so that I can pick up the car from the dealership. When I say pick up, this is not collection day, but take it over to Topaz to get paint protection film on it before the final parts of the pre-delivery inspection, and then it will be time for collection. But I want the paint protection film to make sure the paintwork, which is rather beautiful straight out of the Aston Martin factory, stays looking spot on. But before we get over there to the dealership to see the GT8, I've got some other things to do first with these two. And the Focus RS is looking an utter mess after this trip. It's been in the garage overnight and it's actually still got water on it. I mean, it must be quite, the air in here quite full of moisture. But that needs to get cleaned. But there are two other things. Firstly, FF needs winter tyres. Secondly, I've got some little wheel things to tell you about. I'm going to answer one question that comes up an awful lot, actually, which is why my space has a disabled badge, and therefore I'm a douchebag because I park in a disabled space. But it's actually not a disabled space. It is a space that I rent and I pay for, and there are some more disabled spaces around the garage, and if somebody moved into my building who was disabled, then maybe I would have to move out. But for now, it's my space. It's not a disabled space. I'm not being a jerk. That is not my space. I've just borrowed it temporarily to park the FF there to have the two together for a little photo and to shoot this video because it seemed quite fun, and because I've got to load the tyres up, which live in a storeroom sort of behind me, into the back of the cars, because we're going to take both of them to Posh Wash this morning to do all of this. So while I was in Germany with the Focus RS, something happened to one of my wheels, and I'm going to turn on the lights so you can see this better. Yeah, not pretty. But most importantly, there's like a gouge out of the tyre. So while we were away, I was checking it for pressure loss to make sure it was going to be okay to drive on. The curbing on its own is not a big deal. This is mostly the tyre sidewall to protect your wheel. But obviously I was a bit worried this might be vulnerable and I want off it as soon as possible, so that can get refurbed easily. I've got a new tyre ready to go on the car. Now, before you ask, I think if I had done this, I would know about it. I don't think that could happen without you feeling something's happened. And the car's been at a valet at the hotel I was staying at in Dusseldorf, and right-hand drive car and a left-hand drive country. I rather suspect that they have done that when they've been parking it and I don't know about it. And I hope I'm not just saying that. If I knew I'd done it, I would admit to it. On the Ferrari, that is going to be turned over from the Pirelli P0s onto the Soto Zeros. So that's already on the Michelin Pilot Alpin winter tyres. These are the Soto Zero winter tyres, high performance for the Ferrari, of course. You can see all the additional tread lines. There is actually something little on here as well. And my dad, bless him, when he was parked, turned the wheel ever so slightly into a curb when he was just moving out of the space. So you can see that tiny mark. So I'm going to get that sorted at Posh Wash as well while it's there, because, well, I want the cars to be spotless and perfect. And the Ferrari doesn't actually need a clean, but we'll get the Focus fully cleaned up as well. So my first, I guess, objective slash mission is to get the tyres into the car. And that's going to be a bit of a squeeze. So let's try to open the boot. Come on, boot. There we go. Because there's not a huge amount of space in here. I've got a blanket ready for the purpose. But I'll get hopefully two in here, or maybe one in here, and two or three in the Focus. Got some card as well there to look after the cars while we do this, and get them over to Posh Wash. First mission, seats down to give us some space. Easy in here actually. Lots of luggage space available, but they don't go completely flat. They sit at an angle like that. Here we go. Maybe if I don't even need to use the Ferrari boot at all, which would definitely help, like, because I can have a look. Crema leather. Last thing I want to do is make a total mess of that. But I have once before actually transported the 4 winter tyres in the back of the FF while driving it, so it can be done. Easy. I guess that's why everybody needs a practical car. Done. Ferrari parked up then to have that bit done, and the Focus is in here to be cleaned. Get the Posh Wash treatment and turn back to nitrous blue, which is how we really need it, and then they'll both stay to get sorted out, get that fixed as well afterwards. But right now, just need to get this grime off. And meanwhile that is happening, I am going to jump in an Uber back to my house to get the McLaren to go check out the Aston Martin. Now then, it is McLaren time. So as if we couldn't get all of the cars out on one day, maybe I should take the Mini out later just for fun. But I'm going to take this now over to the Aston Martin dealership. Here we are, Aston Martin. This is where we are coming, and potentially in the All Transports truck right here is where my GT8 is potentially already loaded up. Now this is going to be difficult. I don't really know where we can go. We've arrived, and the car is just coming out. It's right in front of me, but there's the service sort of centre around the back, and I can't show you that. But here it is again. The first time since it is technically my car, the cobalt blue with the orange accents of the Vantage GT8, and definitely the first time the LT Spider and the GT8 have seen each other, which is extra cool having them next to each other with the two different sort of colour schemes. And this is, I cannot wait to do a photo shoot with these two cars, because we've obviously got the Orion Purple, my custom paint colour which sparkles in the sunshine, and I can always show you that with the lights. There we go, you've got the blue sparkle in it. And on here I did the silver pinstripes recently at Dub Customs. Those are just finalled, but this is painted in the blue and orange. It's representative of the GTE race car, so it's supposed to look badass, and it really does. But we're going to load that up now, and I have to say a massive, massive thanks to All Transports Ltd, because literally we arranged this, well, after working hours last night to get the truck here, ready to take the car over to Topaz. But there we go. In it goes. Wait until you hear it start at the other end. The noise of the startup of this car is insane. Genuinely insane. Not just sort of YouTube insane, where all YouTubers think their cars sound the best in the world. It's like actually mental. In case you're wondering why the car is actually going in a truck rather than driving it, well, the main reason is because it's not actually road registered yet, so it wouldn't be legal for me to stick the number plates on. We're going to do that in a couple of days. So we arranged the truck, like I said, really last minute, just to get it over there without having to deal with all the paperwork yet. That will be done in due course, ready for collection of the car in the very near future. But for now, one thing at a time, the car is going to Topaz. Here we are at Topaz. So we will pull in here and park somewhere, put the McLaren away, and then go and unload the Aston Martin. And the exciting moment of seeing the car again as the cover goes up. Now I'm just going to quickly address one thing I've seen people mentioning, which is about the exhaust tips. I think in a previous angle they looked like they were slightly different heights, but I can tell you in reality they are identically matched. Not quite sure what that was about, just weird camera angle, I think. Time for me to start it for the second time. Obviously I started it for the very first time the engine was in the car when we were in the factory. I'm going to step in and fire this up. So head round the back, let's hear it. Topaz we go. So we brought the car into Topaz, where we've been working out, that's so good, where we've been working out the plan and what's going to be happening with it, because we are basically rapidly fighting against time. We don't have a huge amount on our side to get this ready, because it's going to be heading to the Autosport show and be on display. So we want to do some protection work to it so that it can be driven basically outside without causing trouble or stone chips or damage, especially in the cutaways there behind the front wheels. Those arches. That is one of the most vulnerable parts you could ever imagine engine on a car, and obviously the front end as well. So we're going to go and take it over to the wash bay and then detailing, and I'm going to start that as its own piece because I always find this really interesting, this process, the detailing, the washing, the masking, the detailing, and then the application of paint protection film. So I'll show you all of that and everything we do with the car and talk about how the paint is right now. So we're going to take this over to Topaz's other unit. If you remember, the unit we've just been in, which I can't show you everything in because there are some secret cars in there, is the new unit for PPF, paint protection film. And cars are still detailed and washed in the previous units, but because of the scale of the business and the way it's all growing, they have the ability to basically fit things in like this. So when I turn up with my car slightly later than planned, I was planning to give them a little bit more notice and time to do this. They're able to adjust the manpower and make things work. That is such a good burble. So the car is going to head up to the other side, and I will flip over to my other video that's going to be coming in due course, where you can see it being detailed and prepared, ready to go out and given the Topaz treatment. For this video, we'll probably be jumping back into my car and heading back home next. Fast forward and I'm back home. I've basically been so wrapped up in filming the detailing process of the GT8 at Topaz that I kind of forgot to vlog the journey home. But here we are, and I thought I'd include the Schmini, the Mini, just because. And basically I need to drive this again because it's been sat here for a while without being driven. And as we know from my recent video, that's not so good. But this has actually been a kind of funny vlog to follow my latest Fuel for Thought, or one of my latest videos, where I was talking about running and looking after a supercar fleet, or a car fleet in general. Because today we've done refurbs, tyre changes, moved 4 of my cars. The only one that I haven't moved, I need to move. I've been to the bank to pay for things. I haven't filled a car up today. That's what I've not had to do. But logistically, it's been a very, very complicated and pretty long day just sorting out the cars. And making videos, of course, for you guys to watch. And kind of taking delivery of a GT8. I don't think it counts because I haven't actually taken delivery of it yet. That is coming very soon, and I am very excited about that, and then being able to take it out for my first drive. But I had to say a big, big thanks to Topaz for basically shuffling around these complicated movements. It's always really complicated when it comes to me because I want to make everything work with the camera so that I can make videos to put on YouTube. For Posh Wash, for obviously sorting out exactly the same with the refurbs with the cars, to the wheels on the Focus and the Ferrari, and then to All Transports, who with literally no notice were able to move the GT8 for me before registration. But I might have that registered very soon, and then it will be able to move more freely and easily. But this has been, quote, living the supercar dream. Really fun, really exciting, but slightly chaotic, and a lot of logistics and planning and errands. But I am going to wrap up today's vlog there. It's been a fun day, an interesting day, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing behind the scenes of what's going on. But do remember, there is going to be the full video with the GT8. It's got a couple more days of process before it's finished to show you. And then we're going to be at Autosport. So, yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys, as well, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers! And I thought I had finished the video, but one quick update, because I've come back to pick the cars up again, and just to show you that we're all as good as new. The new winter tyre, no messed up wheel, and the full winter tyres on the Ferrari, all of which are also now perfect as well. The sort of dual tone on this is an interesting one, because it's got the kind of diamond cut face with the painted inside bits. But there we go, big thanks to Posh Wash, refurb cars, ready to rock and roll and get back home. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks, guys. Cheers.